Hello, how is everybody doing this fine Wednesday afternoon? This is April Showers of the April Showers Network. And I am so glad that you chose to spend your Wednesday evening with me on this show. I want to make this clear. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of mine. And if you disagree with me, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just a woman that is giving her opinion on the way I see things. That's all. That's it. That's all. I never thought I'd be sitting here doing shows on politics, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just calling things the way I see them. I want people to know I don't like either party. They're the bird. They're flapping their wings, and they don't care about me because I'm a little old poor woman. Okay, a poor woman. Neither party, in my opinion, Democrats nor Republicans, give a darn about uh, poor people. Okay? I feel as though all politicians are liars and thieves. That's my opinion, that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to. Now, the title reads President Donald J. Trump does like black people, but your black gatekeepers don't. Okay? Now, and I want to make this clear too. I, again, the views and opinions expressed are those of Darlene April. No, I don't love President-elect Donald J. Trump. I don't. Hey, he's the president. I have to respect him. Okay. And I have to pray for him to lead this country the right way, as I have prayed for all other presidents. And I have been affected in a bad way by all presidents. Okay? Okay. So I want to make this clear, because when you say something in support, and I'm not saying in support of Donald J. Trump, the president that was elected, I'm just calling stuff the way I see it, okay? So, these black gatekeepers, Rolando Martin, Jasmine, ghetto superstar Crockett, okay? We as black people have been programmed to hate President Donald Trump. But what about these black gatekeepers and all of these previous presidents and even the one that was running for president? These black gatekeepers have been paid to keep black people voting for the Democratic Party, who never gives us anything but promises. Black people have voted for people that call black men super Predators. People who was against segregation. that told you, you wasn't black if you didn't vote for them, okay? Then we got former Clinton and Biden. They passed the 1994 crime bill, which resulted in mass incarceration, which means going to prison, of black people, targeting black people that was addicted to crack cocaine. So why y'all talking about what Trump doing? Look at what all of these other people have done. The Democrats, the Democratic Party. Again, the bird flaps his wings. Neither party, in my opinion, give a darn about us. Okay? That's just my opinion. Then, Lord have mercy, I can't make this up. We have former two-time President-elect Barack Obama. Now, these are Democrats I'm talking about, who gave the alphabet community all kinds of rights. Now, I want to make this clear, too. I have nothing against the alphabet community. I haven't met my family. I love them. They don't have to answer to me. I just personally feel as though children should not be able to make that type of decision till they are 18 years old. And nobody should be able to have their body butchered up, okay? Now, that's my public service announcement. Don't get it twisted. I don't hate anybody. I love people of all races, color, creed, political, religious backgrounds. Okay? And then I want to make this clear. I trust in God. In God I trust. I don't trust in man. Man will let you down. I'm just bringing awareness to things that I see. I'm just a messenger delivering a message. You can respectfully disagree or agree. That is fine with me. I'm not mad at anybody that do not respect my opinion. I'm not mad at anybody that disagrees with me, because everybody matters to me. Now, wait a minute. Now, this is what I really couldn't get right here, y'all. Y'all gotta really make this make sense to me. Now, y'all say Trump don't like black people, right? Y'all say Trump don't like black people. But look at this.
Slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century.
Hold on.
Do you support reparations for black people? Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty. So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you explore. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are.
Damn it. Oh, hold on, y'all. Good gracious of life. Oh, the internet, the internet, the internet. Hold on. Because I mean, oh my God. Oh, who's buffering my show? That Black Caucus, the Congressional Black Caucus. And who are these people? Who are those people that's been speaking for me? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Mm, mm, mm. Hold on. I'm trying to show you guys the video. And hold on. Hold on. Crap. Dang it. Hold on. I'm trying to get y'all get us back. Now this is what. Dang it. Hold on. Let me get my other device. Hold on. I want y'all to keep looking at that lady. Keep looking at her.
Do you support reparations for Black people? Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black who are in poverty. So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you explore. But no, if you look at the the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people.
Oh my God. What did she say?
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people.
Oh my God. Yeah. This is what these people, this is who these people wanted us to vote for. Okay? This who they wanted us to vote for. Right? She said, I'm not going to do anything specific to help Black people. But Lord have mercy, I can't make this up. But y'all want to make me think Trump hate me and everything else. Oh no, baby. It's our own folks that hate us. It's these gatekeepers. Okay? Now, this is what they've been doing. You can't make this stuff up. Now, I want you people, my beautiful audience, and I want y'all to know I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just calling stuff out the way I see it.
Democracy, but
now I need y'all
in their own party. I don't think
to listen.
Had a problem with Kamala had they actually had a real primary.
I want you to listen to this. First, we're gonna talk about good old boy. Good old boy. Hey, that's my apartment. Do. We're gonna talk about good old Rolando. Oh, they on Rolando. Rolanda. They on Rolanda. So we're gonna listen to this.
Matter is most aristocrats, most talented tent bougie Negroes are fat. And the reason that they're fat is because they're getting it off the pain of Black people by telling everybody that the African American, foundational Black American ADOS sky is falling, and the only way to save it is to give more money to your alleged YouTube channel that you call the Black Star Network, and of course to continue to vote blue no matter who, even though they have not delivered on any other promises that have led to anything positive in Black America over the past 3 decades. Now, of course, you're going to sit up here, you're going to call me all types of dumbasses, because that's what you do, because you can't back up anything I'm saying. In fact, you're just going to continue to bully people. And the thing of it is, Roland, unlike most people, I can actually take it. What I don't like is when you start discouraging, disparaging, and basically trying to disrespect our young people who are trying to move the ball forward. Now, Dave, what are you talking about? I don't remember Roland Martin bullying any kids. Well, I do. There was a young man named King Randall who in rural Georgia created a program called the X for Boys. It is a supplementary education program designed to teach tangible skills, not just education, but life skills to young Black boys so that they can actually live in the world that exists, not some utopian Black pride world that only is in the imagination of you bougie boule. You would run. I've seen you run from people that you called dumbasses on your show when confronted by them. And when you didn't run from them, you hid behind women. That's not mannish behavior, Roland. That's, well, as the young people would say, downright sassy.
What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. We got to check out my guy once again.
He's ready to talk about Roland.
He's been on the
Rolando Martin
of the show. I got a lot of love for Dave, man. A lot of love for Dave. Now, I got to say, we don't agree on everything, but we do agree on about 90% of the things that he says. I am in agreement with. There's about 10% that I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean that he can't be my friend. It doesn't mean that he is still not my brother, because he is definitely that, and he cooks today. You guys got to see this. Like, share, subscribe. Turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Watch this video all the way through. All the way through. All right, let's get into it.
Well, surprise. Roland Martin's mad again. Why is this man so angry? Like, doesn't he have anything to smile about? Let's talk about it. This time, Roland Martin is upset because Republicans are redistricting seats, which happens every single time. You know, one party is in power. They want to make sure that they're able to maintain power. Democrats have done this. Republicans have done this. And my whole thing is, Roland is not upset because of the seat redistricting. He's upset for what that means for his paycheck, allegedly. The truth of the matter is, the real betrayal has not come from Republicans. It's come from Roland himself and the Congressional Black Caucus. Listen, I know what I'm about to say is going to sting and hurt some feelings, but somebody's got to say it. Roland Martin has not been a journalist for the past 15 years. Here's what I mean. We know that he got at least 6 figures from the Kamala Harris campaign. When
oh my God!
Did you hear that? To sit down.
Did you hear that? 6 figures.
That is an infomercial ad.
He got 6 figures to convince us to vote for a woman that said, I'm not going to specifically do anything for black people. You heard? You heard me?
Best. Yep. And he's profiteering from scaring people into voting one particular way. Go to my iPad. So can you trust somebody that has gotten paid tangibly multiple 6 figures from one particular campaign by somebody who also got pushed into a position that nobody voted her in? And I think a lot of people get confused by that. Kamala Harris did not have any type of primary where she was chosen as a Democratic nominee. Joe Biden was forced to step aside, not resign from the presidency, because he did not resign from the presidency. Had he resigned from the presidency, then of course Kamala Harris would have been the de facto president until such time as an election. That did not happen. They all said, and when I say all, I mean the Congressional Black Caucus, the Democratic National Committee, and of course Kamala Harris herself, along with Elizabeth Warren and all of the other Democrats, said that Joe Biden was going to focus on doing the work for the American people, and he can't do that and run a successful campaign. And so we just going to let Kamala do it. No voting, no runoff, no nothing. Even Barack Obama said that he wanted the nomination to go to the convention so that there was an actual vote. And then all of a sudden, they walked that back.
Yep. And this is the so-called party of democracy, right? They're the ones that tells everybody that will listen that Trump and Republicans are a threat to democracy, but they usurp democracy in their own party. I don't think anybody would have had a problem with Kamala had they actually had a real primary, and if she won because the people wanted her there, I don't think people would have had that much of a problem. Now, I still would not have voted for it. I don't think that she would have won, but they made themselves look bad. They lost a lot of credibility by doing what they did.
Again, where has anybody seen Dr. Umar? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? But I digress. The point of it is, if Roland is in the paycheck of Kamala Harris, the Congressional Black Caucus, and allegedly the Democratic National Convention or the Democratic National Committee, can his word be trusted? We can trust that it's going to be one-sided, but we can't trust that there'll be anything that looks or resembles objectivity. Roland Martin loves talking about how he's connected and clicked in with the Congressional Black Caucus, but I'm trying to figure out, and I know he hates this word because let's face it, he's not a foundational Black American. He can't say the word. What tangible benefit over the past 20 years has the Congressional Black Caucus offered Black Americans?
Nothing. And they don't have any interest in doing so either because for the longest time, Black Americans has voted blue no matter who. So they hadn't had to offer anything. They hadn't had to earn our vote or work for our vote. They hadn't had to do it. So why would you offer or give anything to people that aren't really asking for anything?
But let's run some stats, shall we? Let's go back. I'll spot you 30 years. Matter of fact, I'll give you 31. When it comes to mass incarceration, the Congressional Black Caucus was the loudest voice when it came to pushing the 1994 Joe Biden Bill crime bill.
Who are
the one
those
that
people?
turned around and locked us up 3 strikes. And what was that? If you have a crack rock that this big right here, you're going to do at least 25 years. That's what former President, then Senator Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. of Delaware said on the floor. Do we not? We don't remember that?
Let's not forget the 88 crack laws. Let's not forget that either, where there was a real differentiation between cocaine and crack, although it's the same substance, just in, a different form. Same thing. That's like saying ice is different than water.
And he had the mayors and he had the Congressional Black Caucus go to their particular districts and tell everybody that we got to get behind this, so it makes it look like all the black people really wanted to get rid of the crime. And don't get me wrong, black people did want to get rid of crime, but not this way, where we become disproportionately, almost exclusively locked up by these laws that have not had any type of repair to them, unless you count the First Step Act. And I got issues with the First Step Act, but at least it's something in comparison to what happened.
Yeah, the First Step Act is solid. It is solid. Could it be better? I think so. But it was solid, especially in comparison to the 94 crime bill that locked up a plethora of brothers, a lot of the real ones, a lot of dads gone off the street for a very long time. Some still in prison. Some died in prison. Let's just keep it real.
So that's one I can give the Congressional Black Caucus. They tangibly delivered mass incarceration of black people. I don't want to call that a benefit, though. Reparations. The Congressional Black Caucus has asked for reparations. Studies. Yeah, see, they want to keep studying it. I'm sorry, have you been to a hood? Any hood. I don't care if you're in Watts, North Philly. I don't care if you're on the south side of Chicago. Do we need to study the fact that densely populated black communities are in disrepair, have minimal access to fresh whole foods, have very high crime rates, are either over-policed or have slow police response times, are undereducated, don't have a whole lot of kids that are operating at grade level, let alone reading at grade level? What is it we need to study that hasn't already been studied over the past 150 years? I'm confused, but you can't get an answer for that, because that would look too much like accountability. But according to Roland, the sky is falling. Go to my iPad, because he can't remember the facts, let alone the disparaging, glaring, disproportionate negative numbers that have happened on the watch of the most powerful, largest caucus in American politics, which is the Congressional Black Caucus.
I'll say this.
Thank you, everybody,
this is where Dave and I disagree. I don't disagree with him on the Congressional Black Caucus and the quote-unquote studying for reparations and things of that nature. I just don't think that it's going to happen, nor do I think that it should at this point. I do think there are some things that need to be done in the community. I like the idea of the people that live in, some of these disenfranchised communities. I like the idea of them having school choice, and you can send your kids off to better schools. I would like to see some additional incentives to get married. I'd like to see more people having that discussion about getting married, because the reality of it is, the real privilege in America, it's not a white privilege or Hispanic or an Asian privilege or a black privilege.
It's about that money.
And the facts align. The facts back it up. We know that married couples are the wealthiest people in the country. They have the highest household incomes in the country. And when you look at black people that are married, they're right there with everybody else when it comes to household income. Only 4% of married people are in poverty. That's just the fact. That's what the data says. So I'm not for reparations, but I am for incentivizing people to get married. I would like to see more conversations, especially from the church and other leaders out there, discussing how important it is to find a good husband, find a good wife, partner with that person, and build a solid life together. That's the only way that we are going to make it in America. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And giving people money that have a poor mindset, it's not going to help them. If anything, it's going to exacerbate their situation. And they'll be in a worse condition than they were before they even received the money. I'm just saying. I know some people are going to watch it. Y'all don't like it. I know there's a lot of people out there, even to this day, they still stumping for it. But it's not going to happen. And I am with the brother, John Hope Bryant, who says that, hey, Black folks need to stop thinking about this reparation thing and start thinking about how are we going to get our slice of this capitalist pie here in America. And he actually has a plan and a blueprint as to how to go about doing it. The number one way Americans generate wealth in this country is through home ownership. When you think about Black Americans, I believe the number is about 40% of Black Americans are homeowners. We need to see those numbers tick up, but it's hard to be a homeowner if you out here trying to do it by yourself. You really need two people on the same page, working, building, saving together. And if we can get those numbers to tick up to over 50% of Black households are homeowners, that's the way to generate wealth. It's the number one way Americans generate wealth, regardless of ethnicity.
Let's keep rolling. No pun intended. People are sick of it, including me. Roland, we got to talk about the boule, buddy. We got to talk about you blue blood, upper crust, Yowza boss, step daddy, shade tree house coons that are benefiting handsomely while the rest of us are trying to figure it out in a real way. You are a gatekeeper, Roland. You dance with the elite upper crust Negroes. You are a step and fetch it house coon, and somebody needs to say that. And when I say coon, I don't mean C-O-O-N because that's disparaging. I mean, you're a kooky, emotional, weak Negro. Coon, K-E-W-N. You are a kooky, emotional, weak Negro because you have not done anything tangible, either through action, through words, or by example, to show your strength. Roland, can you do a push-up, sir? One push-up. One, and I don't mean a girl push-up, no diss to girls. I'm talking about the modified push-up that you do on your knees. I'm talking about a straight, planked out, flat out push-up. Can you run a mile, Roland?
Please
because if you really cared about revolution, you might want to start with getting your weight and your high blood pressure under control. Now, I can't prove that you have high blood pressure, but I have talked to several doctors, and they say those black marks on your cheeks are indicative of somebody that may be suffering from hypertension. I'm trying to understand how you could lead any type of revolution when you can't run up the stairs without getting winded. And I get it. Listen, I'm a recovering fat ass myself, but I decided to do something because nobody is fearing someone with no neck and an ascot talking about what he demands from people.
Facts. And I saw a video the other day, and it was a dude, he was talking about a revolution and civil war, all this other kind of foolery, right? It was a heavier set brother. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if that was to happen, you're not going to be able to do anything. I mean, you're huffing and puffing walking right now while you're talking. You're struggling just to walk right now. Now, I'm a firm believer that as a man, you should be able to do push-ups. You should be able to, bench your own weight. You should be able to at least pull up your own weight at least once. I'm a firm believer that, hey, you need to go hit the range at least once.
They're getting on Roland Martin behind.
I think that you should some form of combat sport, whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, something. Learn how to protect yourself. Not because you want to jump out here and be a bully, but just in case. It's better to have the skill sets and not need than need the skill sets and not have. I'm just saying. And there is entirely too weak betas.
People are coming into the awakening. Okay. All of these people, these putting this fear in us that, Trump is the worst thing. He don't like us. He's not for black people. But we got the gatekeepers that have been paid, oh my God, so much money to keep us still scared, to keep us voting Democrats, to keep us voting Democratic. So who's the racist? Who's the racist? You know, who is the racist? You know, when they say it be your own kind, they ain't lying. It be your own people. Your own people. Okay? It be your own people that are keeping us down. Okay? Our own people. So don't keep programming me or trying to tell me that Trump is don't like black people or he's a racist, and my own people have sold me out. Y'all have sold me out. You know, you can't make this stuff up. I want to say again hello to everybody in the chat. I don't have a dog in this fight. I trust in God. Both parties, they don't give a darn about me. I'm just, hey, a messenger bringing a message on how I see things. And I'm so glad that I am not the only person. You know, I've been talking about people like Rolanda Martin, Ricky Smiley, all of these people that have been made, putting this fear in us, you know, with a narrative about Trump, President-elect Donald Trump. And, you know, when I do these shows, it's not like, you know, because I had a person tell me, oh, you be all in your shows talking, defending him. No. Like I said, you want to tell me that Trump don't like me, Trump don't care about me, but what about my people that has been voted? What about Kamala Harris, who said, oh, I'm not going to do anything specifically to help black people? Please do not forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. So who's the racist? Who is the racist? You know, I need people to tell me that. Who is the racist? Who is the racist? And so now we're going to look at, oh my goodness, ghetto superstar. That is what you are. Jasmine, ghetto superstar. Okay? You know, batting her ass, having people think that she was from the hood. And here come to find out she come from privilege while she was trying to act like she really cared about us. A lot of these people, just like we are finding out, they have been put in place to keep us thinking the way we think. Okay? So here's another video.
Got a master blueprint because one of the loudest and two of the microphones in Congress, that's Jasmine Crockett and Al Green, they've just run into something stronger than them viral clips. Y'all, they are being confronted with math. And the beauty of all of this is that it is legal. So we're going to examine the surgical, ruthless, and effective precision that is effectively causing both of these individuals, they are going to lose their seats. So I'm going to show you the receipts. We're going to look at numbers, and we're going to learn how we can rinse and repeat all of this until performative politics becomes retirement plan. Y'all buckle up. It's going to get spicy.
And I want to give a shout out to all of these content creators.
Peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I'm your host, April Chapman, and welcome to the show. I am in unusually happy spirits today because we're going to be talking about redistricting. And we're going to discuss it, though, as a strategy and a punishment. Listen, when I tell you what the Republicans have done in Texas is genius, this is how adults redraw crayons on a map that end up making children throw temper tantrums on cable news. Texas drew lines and Democrats drew tears. I love to see it. Oh, how I love to see it. Now, if you are a liberal, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna let you know out the gate. This show might make you mad. It might make you mad so much so that you start bleeding from your eyes. And I am here to let you know that I don't care. I am here for all of it. So let's go ahead. Let's talk some strategy, not the hysteria. We're gonna talk strategy. What did Texas actually do? We've heard so many people talk about how Jasmine Crockett not living in her district, but what Texas has done, Texas approved a mid-decade congressional map, and Governor Abbott, he signed it on August 23rd. This new map, you guys, it is designed to add up to 5 GOP seats. And what this does is it shifts the delegation from 25 Republicans and 13 Democrats toward a potential 30 Republicans and 8 Democrats. Y'all, what? Let me explain why this matters. Under these new lines, the 2024 results, they would have given Donald Trump a 79% win of Texas districts, which would have equated to about 30 out of 38. Let me translate all of this for you. Donald Trump is a freaking genius, okay? Listen, y'all, cartography beats clout chasing and grandstanding every day and twice on Sunday, okay? Cartography is the art of, or the science of drawing maps. And this, what he has done, you got to give it to him. It was genius. But I want to remind you, I need to remind you, how did we get here? Let's roll the clip to give you some insight as to what led us to this point.
The only reason we're having this hearing is because somebody got their feelings hurt in a debate. And I don't understand why we're wasting taxpayer dollars. Next time, tell your big boy to show up and be ready to handle the woman in the room who hopefully will become the next president of the United States. And the final thing that I will say is that this election, I didn't ask you a question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield. I'm going to try my best not to preach. Go ahead. I just want to say thank you. Because every day that we show up in D.C., we show up for you. That's right. We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they trying to pull right now. This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing. Take your time. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You're going to learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter, y'all about to find out, all right?
Me and Lil Donnie, we don't get along. And y'all know that, like, he really has, like, this little ego issue. And so when there is somebody that pushes back, fights back, he absolutely loses his mind. So, just to be clear, I'm not going to stop being who I am, because it's just how God made me, and so it is what it is. But y'all know how he was, like, going after different people that are on TV and wanting them to lose their jobs, and unfortunately some may have lost their jobs because of him and his threats and his bullying. Well, that's not how I get my job. I get my job from the people of Texas 30. So once Donald realized that he can't fire me by any means, because I don't work for him, I work for the people at Texas 30. And of course, like, I'm not, like, paid to do TV or anything like that. He has decided to sick his little media people out on me and to make up all kinds of lies and all of the nonsense. it is what it is. As soon as y'all see something that sounds stupid, especially coming from certain sources, y'all already know what it is. Like, we not gonna play like this. Like, y'all not crazy. And so, yeah, I got news for him. If I want to be in the house, I'll absolutely be in the house. And there ain't nothing he can do about it. I'm sorry. But Don, you gotta put up with me, okay? Okay.
If you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe. All right, so while this chick was grandstanding for the algorithm, the congressional map makers, they boxed her in. During hearings, if you remember, Jasmine Crockett said that the GOP map would draw her out of her home, out of her own district. And I'm sorry, but this is what happens.
See all of the programming. You can't make this stuff up.
Okay, while Jasmine Crockett was out here auditioning for BS Now or MSNBC or whatever they're calling themselves these days, the surrounding math moved her right on out of her seat. And so here's my argument. It is fine for Jasmine to disagree with the president's politics. She is a lawmaker. She's in Congress. If she's on the opposing side, well, of course, she is probably going to disagree with his politics. But I believe that Donald Trump pulled the trigger on this because what did we see from Jasmine? We saw vitriolic, unusual, and incredibly vile and crass personal attacks on the president by a sitting congresswoman. And I get it. Y'all, Trump is slick with his mouth. He is. He's slick with his mouth too. And he doesn't hide how he feels about anybody. Like, if you're a nasty woman, he's going to tell you to your face that you are a nasty woman. I'm just saying. So I get that. But in politics, things can get ugly and nasty, but I am telling you, Jasmine messed up. She started talking reckless and real froggy like she did in those clips. Because first of all, you are a woman, okay? Your language for the executive branch should come with just a little bit more respect and a little bit more class. Disagree and push all of the freak, nasty, and horrible policies that you want to because you're a Democrat, so we know you can't help that. But that type of inflammatory attack against a sitting president, it is not going to end well for you. She should have focused on his policies and attacked those. If she was truly a serious and vital member of the Democrat Party, she would have done that. Now, to be fair, I don't see how you can build a strong or honest and credible argument against the policies of the president as a Democrat, but hell, she should have at least tried, right? That's her job. She's a legislator. That's what she's supposed to do. Maybe she should have, I don't know,
They're all
legislation, but she didn't.
All.
This woman spent the vast majority of her time wasting time. She was out there running her mouth, running on this show, running on that show, personally attacking the president without providing any viable solutions to counter why she believed his policies were a bad idea. If she had done that, I honestly believe Donald Trump, she really would not have been on his radar like that, and he would have let it slide. But the moment she made it personal, he was like, yeah, I got your food. Oh, I got that. Don't worry. We gonna take care of you real quick. So here's the biblical reality. The scriptures give us this warning that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Y'all, that's Proverbs 29:11. Listen, this is precisely how Jasmine found herself here. Acting like a fool, giving full vent, as the scriptures say, in a liberal crash out mode. And now she has found herself on the receiving end of political wrath. And it's really not too much she can do about it. I mean, if you truly believe that a president's policies are harmful, do the grown-up thing. Write a bill, right? Marshal vote. Build a coalition. Hold a hearing. Make the case. Spend time attacking the policy, not the person. Bring receipts, not reality TV energy. This is real life. This is our country that we're trying to govern here. Spend some time doing the hard work. Instead, like Jasmine Crockett, She spent the vast majority of her time wasting time out here running a mouth, running from show to show, personally attacking the president while offering zero viable solutions. Y'all, that's not leadership. That is just laziness with the lashes, right? If your brand is the point and your core objective overall is to make it all about you, well, no wonder your district was just used as a prop. Now, if Jasmine was writing checks with her mouth that her butt couldn't cash, let me show you the cane. Take a look at this clip.
I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. HRES 57 addresses abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into an authoritarian government. I believe that if we do not take immediate action, this authoritarian president will not only devolve the country into authoritarianism.
See how they had us all programmed?
Would-be dictator who would become a dictator.
Oh, they call him
on us, and we all have to decide: are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy? I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. HRES 57 addresses
so who's the racist?
abuse of presidential
Who's the
powers
racist?
by disregarding
People that
the
have been
separation of
programmed
powers,
to keep
devolving
us
American democracy
voting, people that's
an
been putting fear in us,
an authoritarian,
people that's been keeping us to stay on a Democratic
authoritarian
plantation. Hello to anybody that might be in the chat. I'm just a person that is bringing you a message. You know, they were at the meeting singing, "We shall overcome." I couldn't believe it. But anyway, this is April Showers. Thank y'all for joining me this evening.
I will bring the articles of impeachment to the floor, and I will call for a vote. I believe that the
look at how we have been programmed. We have been programmed. They have put fear in us. They have told us Trump was everything but a child of God. They had us programmed. But what about these people that have been put in place, that have been paid, 6 figures to act like a ghetto superstar queen? I mean, they're racist too. Racist against their own people, in my opinion. You're taking money to put fear in me. You're lining your pockets for me to keep voting for a certain party that did mass incarceration, called people super predators, said, oh, I wouldn't do anything specifically for black people. This is April Showers. Thank you for joining me this evening. I'm just a messenger giving a message. Again, you know, it's the same bird. It's one bird, the wings, you know, Republican, Democrat, they're still that same bird as far as I'm concerned, and they don't give a damn about me. April Showers Network, thanks for joining me tonight.